You know, I've heard a lot of stories over the years. Let me tell you about this one. There's a specific kind of betrayal that doesn't just hurt in the moment. It rewrites your entire history with someone. And this story, this is one of those, so here's what happened. This woman, let's call her the OP, she's 26. She had a sister, 24, they were close, really close. Growing up, living together once the sister turned 18, sharing that post-college chaos where you're trying to figure out who you are and what life looks like now. The kind of bond where you assume, without question, that this person has your back. Then life happens. OP moves in with her boyfriend. Sister moves in with a friend. Normal 20s stuff. But a year later, OP finds out her boyfriend's been cheating on her, and not with just anyone, with her best friend. The two people she trusted most in the world, outside of family. So she does what you do when you find out something like that. She kicks him out, ends the friendship, tries to rebuild, and her sister shows up. Supportive, sweet, loving, all the things you need when your world just collapsed. Except none of it was real. Because what OP didn't know at the time was that her sister had slept with the ex-boyfriend too, while OP was still with him, while he was actively betraying her with the best friend. The sister was part of it. And now, the sister's pregnant with his baby. Think about that for a moment. The person who held you while you cried over a betrayal was actively part of that betrayal the entire time. That's not just deception. That's cruelty with a smile. So the ex-boyfriend, he found out the sister was pregnant and completely spiraled, deleted his socials, left the state, maybe even left the country. Just vanished. The best friend broke up with him before all this came out. And now the sister is alone, pregnant, and running out of options. The friend she was living with moved back home with her family. No other friends want to take her in because, and I think this is worth noting, they don't want a baby crammed into their living situation. Which, fair, but it also tells you something about how isolated she's become, so the parents step in. They live in another state, but they're trying to broker peace. And their solution, OP should let the sister move back in with her and help raise the baby. Let that sink in. The sister who betrayed her in one of the most intimate, painful ways possible should now be welcomed back into her home, to live with her, to rely on her, to raise a child fathered by the man who shattered her trust. And OP said no. She told her parents the sister is on her own unless they move her back home with them and take care of her themselves. She said she has no sympathy for the position her sister's in, that all she can see now is the betrayal. The parents flew out, rented an Airbnb for a couple weeks, brought the sister with them, and they've been pushing, hard, asking OP to forget about who the baby's father is for now, to think about her sister, to think about the unborn niece or nephew. They wanted to have a family dinner. OP refused. She's done. And the parents keep talking like she's the one who got her sister pregnant with all this language about what she needs to do, what she owes her. There's a real human need here that's worth examining. The parents are scared. Their daughter is pregnant, alone, and the father of the baby has disappeared. They're looking at their other daughter and thinking, you have space, you have stability, why won't you help? But here's what they're missing. Forgiveness isn't something you can demand. And even if OP could forgive, and that's a massive if, forgiveness doesn't mean erasing consequences. It doesn't mean pretending the betrayal didn't happen. It doesn't mean offering up your home, your peace, your emotional energy to someone who actively participated in one of the most painful experiences of your life. Notice what's actually driving this. The parents are trying to protect one daughter by sacrificing the other. And in doing so, they're asking OP to set herself on fire to keep her sister warm. Because let's be clear about what living with her sister would mean. It's not just sharing space. It's waking up every day to a living reminder of the betrayal. It's watching her sister's belly grow with a child fathered by the man who cheated on her. It's being expected to help care for that baby, to be an aunt, to play happy family while swallowing down every ounce of hurt and rage and grief. That's not healing, that's self-destruction, and the parents are framing it like it's about the baby. Like the baby is innocent in all this, which is true. But the baby's innocence doesn't obligate OP to sacrifice her own well-being. The baby deserves care and stability, absolutely. But that care doesn't have to come from the person its mother betrayed. This is the moment where everyone's just trying to protect themselves. The parents don't want to uproot their lives, so they're pushing OP to do it instead. The sister doesn't want to face the full weight of her choices, so she's leaning on family obligation. And OP, She's protecting the one thing she has left, her boundaries. And honestly, I think she's right too. Because here's the thing. The sister had choices. She chose to sleep with OP's boyfriend while they were together. She chose to keep doing it. She chose to show up afterward and play the role of the supportive sister while hiding what she'd done. Those were all choices, and choices have consequences. The consequence here is that OP doesn't trust her, doesn't want her in her life, doesn't want to help her, and that's not cruelty. That's self-preservation. The parents flying out and renting an Airbnb and staging interventions. It's not about reconciliation. It's about pressure. It's about making OP feel guilty enough to cave. And the fact that they're talking about what she owes her sister. That tells you everything you need to know about how they're framing this. OP doesn't owe her sister anything. Not forgiveness. Not housing. Not help raising a baby. That's a direct result of the sister's betrayal. The only people who owe the sister anything right now are the parents. And they're the ones avoiding that responsibility. That's what makes this story so human. We're all doing the best we can with what we have. The parents are scared. The sister is desperate. And OP is protecting herself the only way she knows how. But understanding doesn't fix everything. It just changes how we see it. Because at the end of the day, OP has to live with her decision. And so does her sister. And maybe, in time, there'll be space for something resembling forgiveness or understanding. But that's not something you can force. It's not something you can demand. And it's definitely not something you can guilt someone into. So if you're listening to this, and you've ever been in a position where someone asked you to prioritize their comfort over your own healing, you're not wrong for saying no. You're not cruel for protecting yourself. And you're not obligated to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Even if that someone is family. So what do you think? Is OP in the wrong here, or is she protecting herself the only way she can? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this story hit you the way it hit me, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Because there's always another story, and we're all just trying to feel less alone. Title suggestions primary. Sister got pregnant by my cheating ex. Now my parents expect me to raise the baby, alt 1. My sister slept with my ex while comforting me. Now she wants me to help with his baby, alt 2. Parents want me to house my pregnant sister after she betrayed me with my ex-boyfriend, alt 3. Sister betrayed me with my cheating ex. Now I'm supposed to forgive her because she's pregnant.